Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, helping you thrive at every stage of your journey.
At AlterBiota in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, they are working towards making the construction industry greener by creating innovative technologies that help to decarbonize concrete. One of their products is called Delta C. Delta C is a liquid that's added to concrete to improve its strength and allows concrete producers to use a less carbon-intensive cement in their production. It's produced and tested here on site in the AlterBiota pilot plant.
AlterBiota is a unique organization in the sense that we are very much technology first, right? We're heavily focused on R&D and engagement with industry. And we're also unique because we're in the concrete space, but we're actually a highly multidisciplinary team. We have chemical engineers like myself, civil engineers, which is classic in this world of concrete, but we also have physicists and people with computer science training and instrumentation training, you name it. And so that multidisciplinary lens that we apply to problem solving and innovation, I think makes us stronger, it makes us unique, and it allows us to approach these highly complex technical challenges from multiple angles. And everybody has their contribution, and we are able to create new and amazing things through that diversity and multidisciplinary approach.
Here, Delta C test batches are made and tested extensively. The lid is removed from a barrel of biochar slurry, a key component of Delta C. A paddle is attached to the drum mixer, and the barrel of thick biochar is mixed. Next, the barrel of slurry is pumped into the plant. As it moves through the mixer and the homogenizer, the particles are altered to make the particular requirements for this test batch. The pilot plant is a circular system that keeps running until they've met their desired specifications. A barrel is set up at the output end of the Delta C pilot plant. Then a valve is opened and the finished Delta C test batch flows into the barrel. The supply pipe is removed. The lid is secured and the barrel is taken to be weighed. Each batch of Delta C will be extensively tested. A measure of water is taken and set aside. A precise measure of Delta C is taken and noted. Cement, water, and Delta C are poured into a container and placed on a mixer. This process is carefully timed. After 1 minute of mixing, it's checked, followed by 1 more minute of mixing. Now, a slump test is performed to measure how much it flows. A small amount of cement is poured into a test cone. It's quickly lifted, and the spread of the liquid concrete is measured. The results are noted and checked against their baseline. The results from this test determine if the batch will carry on for further testing. Another test batch sample is used to test the set time of the concrete. It's weighed and taken to the lab. After entering information specific to this sample, it's placed in the CalMetrics instrument to complete the test. These instruments are used in the cement and concrete industry to analyze materials. Another sample is taken to measure the viscosity of the test batch. Viscosity refers to the resistance to flow and essentially its thickness or internal friction. For the next test, a batch of Delta C is being tested in concrete making. Ingredients are weighed and readied on a trolley. There's cement, sand, and aggregate. The ingredients are mixed and water is added. The Delta C is added, followed by more water. It's mixed for 3 minutes, then is allowed to rest for 3 more minutes and mixed again. The tools for the next tests are prepared. The mixed concrete is dumped out into a wheelbarrow and carefully scooped into a slump cone. It's tamped down to ensure it's being filled without allowing air pockets to form. The cone is released and measurements are made. Next, an air pod is filled. periodically banging it with a sledgehammer and tamping it down to ensure it's well filled. The concrete is carefully leveled off. The rim is then wiped clear to ensure a good seal. The filled air cone is weighed and the weight is noted. After one last seal check, a pressure gauge is secured on top. Water fills the remaining pocket and pressure is applied. This batch passes the test with 4.1% of air. If concrete has too much or too little air, it will degrade more quickly. The successful test results are noted, and after a quick tidy, the next test begins. Release oil is applied to the inside of 4x8-inch test cylinders. Some of the test batch is scooped into each cylinder. The vibrating table is turned on periodically to help the material settle in the cylinder. They're filled further, right to the top, and then smoothed. These samples are loaded onto a cart and taken to the curing room, where they'll cure for 24 hours. The curing room is climate controlled to manage the ideal curing conditions for concrete, which are 23 degrees Celsius at 100% humidity. Further testing on cured cylinders is usually done on days 7, 14, and 28 into the process. At the breaking station, the resistivity is tested first, then fine measurements are taken. Next, the hydraulic press testing unit is programmed. Test caps are placed on the cylinder. The cylinder is loaded into the unit and the test begins. The unit applies increasing amounts of compression and determines the breaking pressure of this concrete. Using a hammer, further inspection is done.
There are many things that drew us out to Nova Scotia. But first and foremost, it's the stage that Invest Nova Scotia has set for startup companies like AlterBiota, who can come from a major center like Toronto, as I did with my family in 2021, to a place like Cape Breton to supercharge our business and our technologies and have an ecosystem that is so outsized for the population, and allowed us to go from, an idea in a basement lab in 2021, late 2020, early 2021, to a team of almost 20 people who are working on industry-leading technologies, and clearing the way for practical solutions to help achieve our vision of precision concrete production around the world.
Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, providing the tools and expertise you need to succeed.